வணக்கம் நண்பர்களே. We are going to see today's topic in Chemical Engineering Universal channel about blue boil system for a compressor. Okay, so this was taken based on a request of your friend. So I don't want to waste much time, so I have done already. I'll just explain the concept how it works. The blue boil system, it is very much important for a compressor, even for higher capacity pumps also. If the low boil system fails, the total equipment may lead to damage. So if it is a small pump, then that also will cost much here. So the low boil system that we are talking about, if the pumps are having or compressors having 11 kV motors or more higher than that, so it will be much asset. It's a very big asset. We don't want to occur any loss for the compressor or pump. So we have much more interlocks for the system completely. So that only we can protect the compressor. So protection of the asset is main here. So the system, how it works initially, we have a low boil tank. We have a low boil tank here. So this is the compressor. You can take any type of compressor, screw compressor or centrifugal compressor, whatever may be. If any type of compressor, I just mentioned here commonly compressor. So the concept is common for any type of compressor. Okay. From the low boil tank, you are taking initially the low boil is pumped to a auxiliary pump. This is auxiliary. We call it as auxiliary pump because we have. Just a second. There are two pumps for low boil system: auxiliary system pump and main low boil pump we have. So in that case, initially the auxiliary pump will start to run. It will top up the liquid, whatever the low boil that is available. This pump will take the pumping liquid and it will try to force it to the coolers initially. So low boil purpose is to cool down the whatever the friction that is occurring inside because of the bearings. So that's we have to remove the heat from the system. So to remove that, we are pumping the low boil. So initially we have to cool whatever the liquid that is to cool initially. So that's why we are using coolers. And the next thing is being pumped to the filters, low boil filters. So after pumping through the low boil filters, these mostly the filters may not have auto valves. Mostly we go for manual valves only, so we can turn that way or either way. In some cases, you can say unmanned plants. In that cases, we may have auto valves also. So we can use this manual valves. So the filters can be frequently cleaned based on the schedule that will be maintained with the maintenance department or mechanical team, whatever. So after passing to the filter, it is coming to the level control valve. So here we can see again we are having a accumulator here. Just follow the path. Take this line only. So this is the tank. From the tank, it is being pumped by the pump. So through a pump, it is passing through the NRV and a valve. After that, it following through the cooler. After attaining some cooling point, we have set point for cooling also, and for higher and lower range that will be decided by the service based on the usage we are using or based on the conditions like climatic conditions and everything. So after that, it is passing through the filters. We have pressure PDT here. So why this? We may have some choke because of continuously passing through the filter. If we get more pressure differential, we will get alarm. So based on the differential pressure alarm set point, we can change the filter and take it into the maintenance. Okay. So for that, we have after that passing to the filters, we are coming here. We are coming to the accumulator and then to a tank, another low boil tank, but we call it as a rundown tank. So why this is called rundown tank? Initially, while running the auxiliary pump, it starts to fill the level inside this liquid rundown tube oil tank. After filling the level, after passing to the accumulator, it will start to flow to the system. So these are called the, we can say, balancing lines. So it will distribute the lube oil evenly on both the sides of the compressor, both DE side or NDE side, driven and non-driven. Wherever the bearings available, it will go to the, after that the outlet will come here. This is the outlet, this is the inlet. So this outlet will again return to the lube oil tank. So that's how the path is. And one more thing is that if you want to drain the water, if you want to drain the oil during the maintenance time, so you can just, we have a valve here, drain valves. So you can drain here the tank directly. So like that also we have provisions. And you just know the path now. And we have few more lines here for balancing the pressure. This line, these are called called pressure equalizing lines. Pressure equalizing lines. So we don't want different pressure at different areas. We need to have equal pressures at all the areas. Suddenly the system will be undisturbed. It keeps on flowing. The system will be perfect. So this is the line. The line is taken from the balancing lines, and it will connect to the rundown tank and as well to the main lube oil tank. So during the startup, now we will see the startup again. We have a tank. So auxiliary pump started. So we have two pumps here, pump A and B. So if one pump fails, the second pump will start. That will be decided based on those will be controlled by DCS system. So now we will see this. Our interlock system and safety interlock system. So the auxiliary pump started, is taking the oil, passing through the line. After the system is normalized, means this level is filled. By running the pump, this rundown tank level will be filled. After filling the level only, the compressor will start. The sequence will be like that only to protect the system from getting fault. Okay. So after the lube oil tank filled, it is flowing through all the lines, and then it is returning to the column. So when the lube oil system is perfect, then only it will give permissive to start the main compressor. Then only we can start the main compressor. So after the compressor started, there is another lube oil pump attached here. We call it as main lube oil pump. So this main lube oil pump will take over the lube oil system, and now we don't need to run the auxiliary. It will goes to stop position. It will stop automatically, and the main lube oil pump will take over the system. So it is fitted along with the shaft of the compressor, like additionally in the same line. So when it starts running, the same lines are connected already. So it starts when the main compressor started, the main lube oil pump is running continuously, and it will continuously supply the lube oil and circulating through the circuit. So that's how it works. Now when we go for interlock system, they can say we have LAL here. When the lube oil tank is low, the system will fail to start the compressor. So lube oil low, lube oil level low for main tank and as well as rundown tank, for both main and rundown. Okay. And the next thing is and we have one more thing here. If we have more temperature, So the system is flowing through the system. The oil is flowing here. We have temperature gauges and temperature indicators. So we have already cooled the lube oil. Whatever we need, the temperature is set point. So we don't need to cool much. So we can bypass through a valve. This is called TCV, temperature control valve. So that this will take set point from temperature indicator. So we can bypass this cooler also. That will be auto. So what are the system that I am saying? This will be in auto only. So like that, if you want, we can have it. That will be depends on the climatic condition. If you are having the compressor in a very cold region or very winter conditions, so this will come into action. When it is in hot period, you don't need too much use of this one. So you have bypass like this. Okay guys, that's all for today. If you have any doubts, please ask it in the comment box. I'll clear that. Thank you.